humans of the internet. Welcome to this level 15 interview with Jennifer, who plays Zinkayla in the Gallant Horde. Welcome! How excited are you to be level 15?
Pretty excited because I just got level 8 spells, and I have one that I really want to cause shenanigans with, so...
I saw that. You're going to make everyone a penguin, I believe.
Well, first I kind of want to make everyone a chicken so we can figure out what Hela does with the chickens.
You might all end up dead. Okay. Let's start at the beginning. So the point of this is to allow people to get to know you and your character a little bit better, and maybe learn some secrets that haven't yet come out in the story. Although, to be fair, Z has a lot of things that have come out in the story already.
Secret. I have one secret.
Oh, I'm excited. Okay, we will get to that. Everybody will have to keep watching to find out what the one secret is. Okay, let's start out talking about you and how you ended up here. How did you end up in the Gallant Horde? What brought you to this crazy thing that was meant to be a simple few one-shots?
So, I found out of your existence, and I didn't realize you were the same person, roughly at the same time, because I knew about Wolfernute because of random, it ended up on Twitter, on Reddit, on Tumblr, on Facebook kind of picture, and I was like, oh, look at this cool thing, because it was right when me and Jordan started dating.
Aww.
And he also had introduced me to Critical Role and Dungeons & Dragons when we started dating. And, our first date was he took me to my first, technically, Pathfinder game. So...
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's his fault.
Yeah, it's his fault.
Awesome.
So yeah, and I saw that you had posted in, I think it was actually the Gilmores. That's the one I saw first, I think. And I was trying to get everybody I knew into it who was a fan of Critical Role, and it took forever to get Jordan into it.
But we got him in the end. Cool. Yeah, I think you're the first person, possibly the only person in the Horde who kind of came via Wolfernute originally instead of...
Yeah, because I was
the Croniverse.
I think I was... this one was the one that had Wolfernute into it before you merged all your servers, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, so I was in this one. Or was
I don't
it
know.
I don't know. I was in whatever Wolfernute server there was.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and then it became ridiculous and we decided to put it all in one place so that we could keep track of everything. Cool. That's awesome. So you haven't been playing D&D that long then?
No, I've been playing since 2017. So
cool.
Very long. And it's mainly been Pathfinder. It wasn't until I started playing in the Horde that I switched. So
Indeed. Cool.
That's why I get confused sometimes.
That I get confused sometimes, and I've never played anything except D&D, so the rules can be complicated. Sometimes I read them and I'm like, that's ambiguous. So what was I going to ask you? Your character is a pre-existing character from a world that you created.
Yes. So originally I had joined a group called Women Plus of D&D on Facebook, and we had made a group. And it kind of fell apart because people realized they didn't like playing D&D on Discord. So and so the people that remained, I had told them about my space campaign idea, which is Novatus.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, cool, because let's get them started off. I'll make Yokrov, which is the planet that Meloda is on, and I had all of that huge stuff, and then that kind of fizzled. One of the people decided they got so burnt out on D&D they didn't want to play it anymore, and I'm like, cool, I have this art, and I have this NPC that I really like, that I try to play as a character, and then your Gallant Horde thing popped up, and I'm like, it shouldn't be that hard to switch her from D&D to Pathfinder back to D&D. So... That's why
she came with a lot of lore.
Yeah.
It turns out.
I don't think anybody would care.
Well, D&D people always care about lore is the thing. So it's very dangerous to just make shit up on the fly, and then you've got to make it match. That's a little piece of wisdom from me to you. That's a dumb thing to do. I do it constantly. I just like make shit up, and then I'm like, now I've got to make this fit. So yeah, Z's backstory has become pretty important to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Several of the characters are planning to retire to Meloda, assuming they survive long enough to retire.
So I would be sad.
And we have discovered that there is a big secret in Meloda, and it turns out that big secret is very closely tied to what the lady is trying to do, which was a really fun thing to be able to do, to be able to take that whole like lore thing and just tie it in with my lore thing and be like, look, pretty bow.
Nice package. Merry Christmas.
Yeah. So I guess how worried is Jennifer about the fact that you let Jax take control of this baddie you made? And how worried is Zinkayla about the situation?
Zinkayla's really, really worried. Not as worried as I think she should be, but that's only because I know what chaos and ruin is. So, and I feel really nervous for everybody who's gonna go on that mission.
I mean, to be fair, they'll all be extremely high level at that point.
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
Yeah.
But also, like, Morin and her boy are supposed to be there. I have to run 2 characters.
I mean, you did that to yourself. I'm not pathetic.
I know. I have a kerfuffle in the Horde.
Yeah. What was Zinkayla's reaction? So, for people who don't know, let's do a bit of a recap. Zinkayla discovered that the elders of her tribe or whatever had been keeping the secret of this cave that had a terrible monster in it, who seems to be some sort of dragon beholder hybrid. And she came back and asked or spoke to the lady about it, and over the course of that conversation, the lady was like, hang on a second, I know something about this. And it turned out that this being is one of, or contains one of the seals that is keeping Titania out of the Feywild. So what we know is that Titania's husband Oberon has done something to keep, we're going to get to that, to keep her out, to basically bar her from the Feywild, and there are these seals that need to be broken in a particular order in order to allow her back in. At the moment, we know about two of them I've told you about, I think.
Told us about the first one. We know the first one exists.
We know the first one exists. And the second one is this being. Seems to contain something that needs to be destroyed in order for this to happen. So basically, what Z discovered in that conversation was that Oberon and his cronies had essentially used Z's people in a way that she didn't approve of, in order to, as part of his thing for keeping Titania out of the Feywild. So, you already weren't a fan because Oberon has a history with goblins. So, tell me about Z's reaction to that whole reveal.
She's really angry. That's why she's now, like, without a question, will help the lady do just about anything. But if she could kill him, she would, but she knows she can't. Because she hates him so much.
He is an archfey, though.
Yeah, that's why I said if she could, but she can't. She knows. Because she was pretty much raised at a young age to, like, respect them. Be careful what you say around them.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Still true. A lot of people forget that the lady is still an archfey.
Yeah.
It's very interesting to me how people are just like, oh yeah, and I'm like, oh, wow, you guys are lucky she likes you. How is, so maybe let's talk a little bit more about that. You say that her distaste for Oberon is making her more inclined to help the lady. Does it make her trust the lady more? Or is she just picking a side?
We trust her a little bit more, I don't think she like fully trusts her because she is Fae, but she definitely does not have the hatred that Elena has for help trusting her. But she's not.
Elena doesn't hate her.
But she's
is the
also
thing.
not to Naya, where it's like, okay, well, I trust you with my whole life.
Yeah.
Because they're like the two extremes of where you sit with the lady.
Elena, canonically, just for the record, once Elena discovered that the lady was Titania, completely changed her loyalties because Elena's family are like Titania's people.
Yeah,
so
yeah. I just like how she
yeah.
was super untrusting and
She
all
was
that.
very, very suspicious, and she had good reason to be. But now that she has more information, she's like, oh, actually, you're quite yeah. So let's talk about these relationships in the Horde, and I don't necessarily mean the romantic relationships. There's been a bit of that recently, but just in general, the people that Z feels particularly drawn to, the people that Z feels not so drawn to.
I mean, Z likes everyone except for Indigo, but also she doesn't fully trust. And I hate saying this because I love them. She doesn't trust Harper. She doesn't trust Rumi. She doesn't trust Hayden, and she has a hard time with Artur. But that is because she hates humans.
Oh, is this your secret?
One of. There's another one.
Why does she hate humans?
Because her best friend, oh my god, let me say it, make sure. Arama was originally supposed to be Pesnik's wife, was murdered by a bunch of humans. So she has a very distrust for them. And she likes all of the ones that she knows, and it's easier for her to trust Artur because he is giantkin and not just fully human. And it's been a lot of time for her to heal over that, but she has just the hardest time sometimes trusting a new human. So that's like she's a little about them when they first come in. It's usually why she strays away from them more and doesn't interact with them as much as she does the other members.
Do you think that her attitude is changing now that she has met humans that are not horrible murderers?
I think so for a bit, but she also understands because the actions of some humans, it's not all humans are like that. Yeah. So it took a lot, and it's taken actually being around some and being like, okay, well, you all don't have a little murder tendency in you. I mean, you do, but you don't.
I mean, yeah, Garen is a human, and he's the least murder hobo of the lot, almost.
Oh yeah, and he's newish too. But she's doing her best not to hold a grudge. And I think nobody really picks up on her not liking them.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And Indigo, it was because of the lying thing, I assume. Indigo's Fae and a bit.
No, it's just because she's Fae. I mean, he's Fae. They're Fae. Yeah, it's okay, he doesn't. Sorry. Yeah, they don't trust Fae of any kind, and I was like, I'm doing this, and I'm like, I really hope people don't think that Z's just being an ass because Brew doesn't like them for lying. It's just like she doesn't trust Fae.
Yeah.
And it's always been like a kind of like a.
Interesting. All right. What about the people that Z is close to?
I mean, she's very close to Naya.
Yeah.
And Morrowind. Brew now, because they have that thing going on. Is she has a crush on Murmur.
We worked that out.
Yeah. Which I don't know if anybody picked it up, because she gave her a feather the first time she went back to Meloda, and I'm like, this is my first instance. She's very shy.
Cute.
She doesn't understand, and UL is usually the one who dates a bunch of people, and she's like, have fun with that.
Yeah. I get that. Okay. Is there anyone in the new bunch? Because that's all that's the old school Horde people. Like that's the original kind of.
Well, she didn't know she liked Juniper at first. Because Jennifer is very here.
That is true.
But more that she got to spend around Juniper and stuff, she's really likes her. And then, but I've been busy with school, so Z's been hanging out with Sarah.
Real life, it's pain. All right. Does she? I guess. Do you have anything? Or does Z have anything that she wants to achieve in her remaining? Like you've got 5 missions left before you hit that magic 20 number. Is there anything she wants to achieve in that time? Apart from just getting strong enough to beat chaos, because I feel like that's a big part of it.
That's the big thing. I think she wants to be able to help as many of her friends as she can. Like, Murmur doesn't have anywhere to go really after this, and Rianth and Greth don't have anywhere to go, and she wants to make sure that either they can come to Meloda and finally have that peace that Morwen's getting, or she can help them find somewhere that they can be and be happy.
Yeah.
But like Z doesn't really want anything. The whole reason that she even left was because her mom and the other elders that are still around from the original thing were like, okay, well, you have to go get stronger and stuff like that, and you need to get a little bit more experience to be a leader.
Because you sure got that.
She's not very charismatic.
No, but there have been a lot of experiences which have, helped, I feel, with that.
Yeah.
Definitely stronger.
She's definitely came, at least yelled at the lady once.
That didn't go so well. You were like the 5th person in the space of 2 days to come and like give her crap, and she was just done. She was like, stop! Oh my god, mortals, what is up with you lot? It was just timing mostly. It was like, really? Another one? Oh god. Alright. Do you, Jennifer, have a favorite Horde moment?
I mean, for in-game, it's the moment I rolled and Sarah was still waiting to come home with us.
Yeah.
That was the best thing ever. Outside of like in the chat, it's been just the sheer chaos of penguin time and snowball fighting. Just the random bits of winter that we get on occasion.
Right.
I really like the shenanigans.
You work for a summer queen and you like the winter.
Oh, Zinkayla hates the cold. But she likes being a penguin.
Being a penguin. That's fair. What about Z? Does she have a favorite Horde moment, or is it the same?
I think getting Sarah was like great. But I think for Z, it would probably be saving Harper's family, because that's the first time she used like her true name and did the whole thing. Because Zinkayla's not her real name.
Yeah. Cool. Do you have a favorite mission?
I mean,
of the missions you've done.
I mean, the ancients. I mean, going to getting dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs. I'm not Megan level, but I do love dinosaurs.
And you get to go back. Except this time you get to be Sarah.
Yeah, you'll be Sarah. I'm still working on that voice. She's gonna be cutesy and nerdy at the same time.
That's
she's
adorable.
Like a child.
Awesome. Is there anything coming up on the roster that you're particularly like, I'm looking forward to that thing?
Besides Chaos and Ruin?
Besides Chaos and Ruin.
I'm kind of looking forward to the going back and doing the side quest with Joven. I'm going on that still. And I'm also looking forward to the Necromancer one.
Oh yeah. Me too.
And of course, like, Sarah is a good one, but I feel like that is more of just, I get to be Sarah.
Yeah, that's fair. Is there anything we haven't done that you're...
So, it wouldn't be a higher level mission, but I would
Mm.
really love to see like the lower level people have to do an escort mission,
Oh yeah. Oh
and
yeah.
it sound like it's really boring, and then they have to deal with something ridiculous like brain eating slugs or something like that. But I want it to sound really boring, like it's gonna be the easiest thing, and it's just
No fun.
chaos.
Yep. I mean, I feel like a lot of the low level missions are like that at the moment. There've been a few that have been like, this will be real easy, and then ghosts.
I think ghosts. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And yeah. But no, I like the escort thing. We haven't really done anything like that.
And then I would like to like just a beholder. We've done just a dragon. Now we can do just a beholder and
Just a
not
beholder.
whatever that thing is in Meloda.
Yeah, we had a beholder's crown one that had some of the beholdery things, but not an actual beholder, because at that point in time, an actual beholder would have killed everyone. But
I would
yeah,
also
maybe.
like to see legitimate elementals and not the like. I like the puzzle thing. We definitely need more puzzles.
Yeah, a few people have said that Adam's very good at puzzles, so I might get him to plan some. But the problem is that if Adam plans it, it might be very difficult.
I
Because
mean,
he's,
fair.
yeah, he's one of those people whose brains work that way. Mine doesn't really. I'm like, is there a story? I don't care about the puzzles. All right. Okay, what's your secret? Spell.
So everyone kind of treats Zinkayla like she's like young.
Mhm.
And I don't. People don't realize Zinkayla had a husband, and she has a kid.
Really?
And she has a kid.
And she has a kid.
Yeah.
Is it a grown up kid?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm like, did you leave your child?
so her husband was called Jardel, and he was a
Mhm.
goblin, and they had a kid. And Z is like a quarter goblin because her
Mhm.
dad's half goblin, half firbolg. And so their kid, Risa, is mainly goblin, and so she's like a 4-foot goblin. And so when she turned like 10, she decided to go out in an adventure. So she's been gone for the last 20 years. So
Does he ever try to reach her?
no, but it's more because people leave Meloda, and it's more of a they usually leave because they're kind of like on a quest to find themselves and feel like think Rumspringer for Amish
Yep.
people, where they go out,
Yep.
and if they don't come back, that's because they've decided that they like the outside world more than they did home.
Yep.
And so that's why they don't really reach out. But some people show up years later. There's no real time limit of when they can come back. So
what happened to the husband?
I mean, he died of old age because he was just a
Okay.
goblin.
Because he was a goblin.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. My DM brain is like tick, 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 tick. That backstory juice. Okay. Cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Risa. How do you spell that?
It's Risa.
Okay.
So I'm just like, I'm telling Brittany about it, and I'm just like, I wonder how many people are gonna watch this interview and are gonna be like, I need to talk to Zinkayla about this.
Yeah, but this is all meta. So if
Yeah.
Z has never told anyone, then nobody knows any better.
Which, to be fair, like, Zinkayla does like, nobody cares about all this family stuff that I have, so she doesn't talk about it because she was here for months before she even mentioned that she was married. I think she only told one person that she was married, and I think it was to Wazitum for a cookie.
Oh yeah.
It was either that she was married or that she was part goblin. I can't remember which one now, but Wazitum was the only one who knew about that for the longest time.
Wow. Cool. All right. That's some juicy gossip. Is there anything else that you would like to tell us about your experience in the Horde, or Z's experience in the Horde, or anything at all that you think would be of interest to our peeps?
I think the only thing is that I really enjoy the RP part of the downtime because I feel like I connect to the characters before, but this isn't my first time doing this. I've once played as a Goliath in a chat format one.
Yeah.
Which is why I was like cool with running Novatus like that, because I was like,
Yeah.
that would be easy.
Yep. It is easy until you wake up and have to read hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lines of conversation.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's all.
I know I'm part of the problem.
I'm just glad that people are super invested in it. Like, I love the fact that people are so just emotionally invested in the story. It's great. It makes me happy. I'm still going to kill you all, though.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair.
The part of my brain that is Oberon is just like, you're all going to die. If you succeed in breaking the seals, then at least you'll have an equally powerful archfey on your side, I suppose.
I don't know. I'm a little worried about that, I'm not gonna lie.
You should be. Okay. I guess thank you for being part of this thing. We had no idea what we were starting. We thought it was going to be a real simple, occasional one-shot kind of situation. Yeah. And it has become extremely all-encompassing in our lives. So that's cool. No, it is. It is cool. It's a lot sometimes. But no, it's awesome. And I'm very grateful because it would be nothing without the people. It would just be me talking to myself, and that's boring. So yeah, thank you for being part of it. And I look forward to seeing what happens to Zinkayla over the next 5 missions.
I'm so nervous.
Why are you nervous?
I'm always nervous. I always go into the mission prepared, like, I'm not gonna come back alive.
He has like 1 million hit points because of wild shape, though. What are you worried about?
Yeah, well, that's the thing I'm worried about. One of these days, you're gonna have somebody who knows about wild shape and is just gonna obliterate her.
It's very difficult to kill a high-level druid. You've kind of got to hit them with double hit points in one shot, otherwise they just wild shape and so it's hard.
Especially,
but
I
will do my best. I say that with all the affection in the world.
Of course.
I would not be a good DM if I wasn't trying to kill my players, right?
I mean, yeah, I understand.
All right. Thank you for being here. And everyone watching the interview, thank you for watching. This will be going live before Z's next mission, which is
the monk one.
Limingosa.
Yes.
Which is soonish, I think.
Yeah, December 18th, so less than a month.
Real soon. December 18th, so it'll be our last mission of the year. Yeah, so if you're watching this as it goes live, pop on over to Twitch and watch the monks. They have an evil book, and we're going to see if our people can deal with that situation, I guess. Thank you, as always, for being part of this crazy thing. We love you very much, and we will see you on Twitch, or YouTube, or Discord, or all three, if you're, really into it. We love you. Stay safe and be awesome.